Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're taking a look at the Bone Spear rework that we've had for the Season 22 PTR. So as with yesterday, this is PTR footage. These numbers could go up and they could go down. I don't think that this will go down. I think it will go to live as is. We're not going to do a full build guide today because the cube change is going to be quite impactful for this one. So just in case you don't know, the season theme next season is going to give shadow clones, but it's also going to give us a 4th cube slot and we can put whatever we want in there. And Necromancer in general has got some really cool stuff that can go in that 4th slot. Weapons have got multipliers on, which is really nice. Jewelry again also has multipliers. There's going to be quite a few combos, but it has been reworked on PTR, so I thought we'll talk about Bone Spear and then we'll make a full guide on it once we get through to the season changes. Special thanks to everyone who came and helped on Twitch with this build. So we've got a speed one and a push one just to talk about briefly, just to give you a flavour of the power and where maybe this will sit on season. And as I say, we will come back and test once that season theme gets open. So special thanks to Twitch subs. I love you all. All the support's been amazing, but let's get into it and talk a little bit about Bone Spear. Now, first off, we've got GR100 and we're doing these with no main stat paragon, so we've stripped all of that out. The gear is decent, but it's not like mega endgame. It's not like everything is primal, nothing is perfect, but it's getting up there towards, you know, a decent sort of late game build. Now, we do have 490 augments on there, so that does offset a little bit, so we do have a little bit of juice in main stat. But the important question is, at around the kind of 800 paragon mark, can we do speed 100s? And the answer is most definitely yes. Now, with all the paragon stripped out, it's probably about kind of 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. You know, we played it for a couple of hours. I'm not saying that this is definitely the best thing that we could have done. Perhaps there were ways that we could have sped this up by another 30 seconds. Again, once we get through to the season, it's going to be quite interesting. But just as a casual player, if you want to speed 100s with the Necro with a super tanky build, then this is definitely for you. So what's changed? Well, the set is exactly the same. There's been no number changes for that. What we have had is a Necro pair of braces. Now, that's fantastic. We've waited absolutely ages for Necro braces. And what they do is they give us a 500% multiplier to Bone Spears, but that is only to Bone Spears cast by the Simulacrum. So our main character now doesn't really do much damage. All the damage is coming from the Simulacrum. Now, the way the set works, you get an absolute boatload of damage reduction with the set, so it is really tanky, and the Simulacrums basically get all the runes. They last forever with a necklace that we can take, so pretty much you turn yourself into a triple Bone Spear, albeit, as I say, only 2 of them really hit particularly hard. Now, Simulacrum do benefit from area damage, so that does mean that we can benefit a lot from density. Now, in the speed build, I think cold is probably going to be the way to go. You'll be able to maybe take the lost time offhand and juice up your move speeds. We can keep this nice and zippy. But as I say, this is a template. We can start at 100 and we can work it up. Now, the reason the 4th cube slot is going to be so exciting for Bone Spear next season is because there are multipliers that you can get in it. So, you know, as a starting point, we could try the Shadow Hook. That gives us more damage based on max essence. That would probably work out about 6 or 7 tiers, maybe something like that. So, you know, 800 paragon, we could be doing 106, 107 possibly. Again, subject to our toughness holding up. Quite interesting. I'm wondering whether we can possibly get the command skeletons into this and then take the Jesseth, so they set shield and scythe. That will give us another 400% multiplier. So all in all, there's going to be quite a lot of gas to go on this. You know, maybe we could take some more utility items, Stuart's Greaves to make us run faster, maybe some Nemesis braces to improve the clear time a little bit. So all in all, this already can do 100 with 800 paragon pretty bloody quick. When you start chucking extra cube juice on it, it will be pretty good. Now, in the speed, there is no generator, so again, another swap on season. Maybe we dump the convention of elements, so we're not having to manage that CV cycle at all. We take a Stone of Jordan, again with maybe the Shadow Hook and the cube to make it smooth, but there's a lot of combos that I want to test, so that's kind of why we're not doing a full guide on this. But speed 100s, solo player, 800 paragon, you know, 4 minutes, that is absolutely incredible. For the Necro to be so tanky as well at GR100 with no main stat paragon is pretty nice. So that pretty much is the speed build. It's going to be fast, it's going to be a lot of fun. One thing to bear in mind as well is if we're flattening 100 this easily, what that does mean is that GR75, so T16 range, is going to be an absolute cakewalk. You will get there really quickly with this, and it is also very easy to set up because Necro doesn't really have too much of a hard time getting your weapons. It's pretty easy to get this up and going. So keys will be no problem. Bounties will be really easy. You probably won't even need gold wrap in it either of those builds. So again, we will test when we get to PTR. Now, the next angle for this is going to be the push. You know, how powerful is this for pushing up the leaderboards? Now, we took this to 115 on stream. We did put Paragon back into, again, up to 1600. But if you bear in mind, again, it's not like fully auged. We've only got those 4 level 90 augments on it. So all in all, there's a lot of gas to go on it. Now, 115 was pretty easy. We could have done probably 117, 118. And again, I'm not saying it's optimized. We could have worked on it for a lot longer, but it just kind of shows you the rough power. Now, with the push, we took the cold off and we went for shatter. So that is the physical rune, and it feels like you're playing with a bazooka. It's really nice. It's got a nice area of effect. And again, because the simulacrum both benefit from area damage, it's like you get double area damage. That obviously helps us out a bunch with density. Now on season, again, it's going to be really interesting because with the cube open, I'm 99% sure the best way to go will be to stuff Nares into this build. So that will give us extra poison damage for every stack of poison. We then presumably will rework in as many poison's abilities as we can, and we'll go for the Blighted Marrow rune, which will give us 15% extra damage for every enemy we pierce. So turn this into something a little bit kind of like the God DH mixed with, I don't know, Dagger of Darts from the Witch Doctor. Again, density is going to be absolutely key on the season because the 15% stacking damage from the poison is going to be really nice. The area damage again from the simulacrums is going to be really nice. I think you're going to see some absolutely crazy clears. Now, I spent most of my time last season playing the God DH. I think pound for pound for me, for a casual player, it probably is the best build in the game. This feels not too dissimilar in terms of power level. Maybe it doesn't quite have the wave clear of the God DH, but the speeds can, you can do these pretty quickly because the Sims will chuck those spears out. They do cover quite a nice big area of the screen. They do travel quite far. So all in all, I think this is shaping up to potentially be an S tier build for next season. Again, very easy to play, very tanky, which is nice, and an awful lot of fun. I personally can't wait until the cube is open. That's going to be a real joy to play this. Again, we'll have to see what multipliers we go for, whether we do stick with poison, whether we go back to physical. We'll just kind of have to see. But Bone Spear is looking in a really good spot. Only thing I would say about the braces is it does potentially lock that slot out for us. So maybe it's a little less viable to take Ogilds, which is a way that we used to do it. But yeah, that's a slight negative. But I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to squeeze this item in somewhere. And the Necro braces probably don't look amazing. I was kind of hoping for something a little cooler looking, but there we are. Again, on season, maybe we'll take Briggs Wrath, maybe we'll do some crazy grouping mechanics and really try and get this area damage activation, but don't be surprised if you see some absolutely crazy clears with this build next season, and we will get working on it just as soon as Thursday rolls around and we get this cube open. That's it, guys. These are my thoughts on Bone Spear. A really good change. I think this definitely is one of the better builds in the game now, and it potentially could be one of the absolute best next season once we do start factoring that cube in. We'll have to see what happens with the Crusader and how that gets touched, but I would be a little surprised if this gets pulled down. It probably will go to live in its current state. So other than that, guys, there's not too much else to say about this. Do stop by Twitch and come say hi as we continue to test stuff. We're going to hit it really hard from Thursday onwards once we get that cube open. There's an awful lot to test and it is going to be a lot of fun. Thanks again to anyone who's subbed to me on Twitch and YouTube. Really does mean the absolute world. All your support's been absolutely fantastic. Other than that, guys, stay filthy, stay casual, stay safe, and I will see you very soon. Take it easy. Peace. Oh, getting blocked off by those things isn't great. All right, let's just build up some essence. We'll give them the stun. End of the line, thanks to the follow, buddy. What are we doing here? We're pressing all sorts of buttons. All sorts of incorrect buttons. Blocked off by these things again. This guy's suboptimal as a Rift Guardian. Nice. So yeah, so what we've got 109, 107, so level 100 gems as well.